Hello, everybody. Hopefully, you're having a wonderful, fantabulous, and mystical day. My name is Emmanuel Aguilar, aka Mystic Fox 4. You can find me on all social media platforms Instagram, Twitter, except TikTok. I think I'm still gonna make a TikTok eventually. I'm just putting it off because no reason in particular. Hopefully you guys are having an awesome day. Over here on the mystical side of life, on today's video, I wanted to talk a little bit about card games. Now, to those of you who know me on a more personal level, you guys would know that I'm into card games a little bit more than I'm into a lot of other things. Now, I've had to reshoot this video a couple times just because I couldn't articulate myself quite well. But I think I'm going to talk a little bit about card games first, and then I'm going to get into my card game. So, I've played card games for a really long time. I've really liked Magic for a really long time with how it, like how you play, like combat tricks, and how it's just pretty like fluid. It did have hiccups back in the day. Like I do remember having a lot of mana issues because you had to play lands, um, and that type of thing. I did enjoy the game a lot. I still have really fond memories of playing it with my friends, and just it's just an enjoyable game. But I always remembered like the mana thing really annoyed me, and on top of that, just not drawing the cards you needed to draw to do what you needed to do. But I think that's more of a deck building thing, because when I got older, obviously I got better at it, and I didn't have as many issues as I did back in the day. Um, I've played Hearthstone, Legends of Runeterra, and a bunch of other card games that I've always enjoyed. Hearthstone's like way of playing, where it's like a mana curve, and it just kind of it fixed the problem that Magic the Gathering had, where you have to draw a land each turn in order to play, or if you didn't have enough mana on your field, then you couldn't use it. You could only play one mana a turn. It just gave you one mana each turn, and then you just play. Um, that solved a lot of the issue for me actually with card games. But the problem with that game is that I've noticed, at least in my experience, everything is too crazy. Like the balancing is very weird in a sense. For I play wild most of the time, because I like having less restrictions, but I'm pretty sure in standard they fix it or whatever. But I've always really enjoyed like having all of the cards, or almost all of the cards at my leisure, and being able to play like that. Although I do get matched up with people that have insane decks, but it's part of the fun. And then when it came to Legends of Runeterra, right, I feel like Legends of Runeterra is like the accumulation of all of that knowledge and put it together in a very easy way for you to play and understand. And I think it's probably one of my favorite, next to Digimon, on this list. If you're not familiar with Legends of Runeterra, it's very similar. It's like smashing Hearthstone and Magic the Gathering together. They have combat tricks, which is really good for card games, its longevity and its playability. It has a solid mana system, and it's very flexible, especially with the cards and how they work and the attacks and things like that. It's just great. And I've always been a really big fan of combat tricks, even for Magic the Gathering. Even though the mana thing was an issue, that was probably one of my top favorite things, is that you can do mechanical things that take skill to understand and know and outplay your opponent, on top of just having the correct cards, right? And I've always been really into that. Like I mean, when I was younger, I just didn't really understand it. It was a lot more of, unga bunga, like I'm just gonna play cards and win. I was more of like, play cards, go face type player. I didn't really think much. I just picked things with like strong attacks and defense. I was the type of elf player that would just like ramp, like a lot, and my deck was not that great. But when you age and you develop, you find out reasons behind why you do things, and yeah, so that's basically it for that. Now I'm gonna transition over to talking a little bit about my card game. So because I've been into card games, and as some of you know, I'm an artist. I like doing illustrations and character designs. I wanted to combine both things into one, right? And I figured I'm gonna make my own card game for my portfolio because that's something I want to do for work and I enjoy the process of. So this is a card game based on zombies versus humans. This is gonna be the zombie explanation video for that, and it's just it's kind of an amalgamation of all of the things that I like in card games, and then just presenting it as a new thing, right? Now, I didn't talk much about Digimon, but I'm going to be pulling from a lot of Digimon things in this video, so you'll kind of get the idea of it, hopefully. So I'm going to start by just reading through this, and then after I finish, I'll explain a little bit about how the zombies are intended to be played, and I'll talk a little bit more about other things afterwards. Hopefully we can make this video quickly, so let's get into it. Zombies. So the zombies in my card game are zombies that are able to evolve through experimentation that Dr. Galapagos had performed on them, allowing them to adapt to the environment. Zombies are able to power up, and you may choose to place a card above them with a higher level by paying its power cost, or power up cost. Attack and events from all zombies cards stack. I'll explain this a little bit later. If a zombie had previously taken damage, it does not change the final value of the card. Zombies level up by stacking. You place a card on top of a card with a lower level, and that's an example of that is the image on the right there. So at the very bottom it says some zombies carry traits that pass on to zombies when they stack. So I guess that's probably the place that we're going to start, right? So traits, right? So each zombie has a trait that passes on to other zombies. Now this trait doesn't always appear on the bottom. Like some zombies just don't have any traits. This idea of stacking cards is an idea that I got from Digimon. I really like the system of Digimon and how you leveled your Digimon, where it's like Digivolution, and you stack them in order to make them stronger, and it just looks cool and it's a fun mechanic. So I wanted to introduce it because they have a cheaper cost to play the card when you power up, opposed to flat playing, which is the PC on the top left hand side right there. PC is just a play cost, PU is a power up cost. I could have put PC, but I feel like it was too much. This is just an example image. It's not going to have the PC here. Players will probably gradually understand that. I just have this there for the example. And so that's the explanation for stacking and the traits. Now, traits could have a variable of different things. They could have when this unit attacks, suspend one or noose one unit, right? These are just keywords I'm making up right now, but the idea is that this trait and this trait and this trait will all trigger when you attack, right? So this one will say when attacking, this one will say when attacking, this one will say when attacking, right? Now you could have some that say when attacking, when blocking, when clashing, and they will do different things, and it'll change the outcome of how the attack is dealt. But that's the general basis of traits. That's the general understanding of traits. Now, zombies themselves can have traits. They could have different abilities that they carry themselves, not on the tree. So for the actual zombie himself, he could have a bulldoze. When attacking a unit, if attack of this unit exceeds their defense, take one security card, right? Now, you probably don't know what security cards are. It's basically your HP in this game. I'll get into that in another video. This is going to be part of a combat trick that I'm going to explain next on the right side, where it says zombie stat example. So in the explanation from earlier, I had mentioned that if a zombie was previously taking damage, it does not change the final value of the card. So this is an example of that. So this zombie is a 3/2. It took 1 point of damage, right? So when you're stacking another card on top of this, right? Hypothetically speaking, this is a level 2. This when it levels up to level 2, it acts as though it wasn't hit. So it would finish off as a 6/4, right? And so it would be at full HP. It wouldn't be at the whatever value that subtracted. So it wouldn't be like a 6/3, right? It would be 6/4. This is to refresh it, and also for a mechanical function. So like for you to think, hey, I'm gonna swing at the opponent, and you know, I'm gonna try to get as much value out of this as possible. So I'm gonna try to swing at it with level 1 before I swing at it with level 2, you know? So that's the stats on that. So as you can see, zombies are pretty simple in theory. Like you just kind of stack the ones that you want, but you kind of got to be smart about what you're stacking in terms of traits. You have to be smart about how you're using your resource. Now resources in this game have a shared mana pool. In this is just called shared resource. Now this is a push and pull. It's kind of like a tug of war. Mana that you spend on your turn is mana that your opponent is going to get on their turn. So you don't want to spend too much because you're going to give them too many options. But you could also do the opposite and just play really big things because it's going to give you an advantage on the field. So that's the general idea of zombies. For anybody who stuck around for the longevity of this video, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you like videos like this and you like my in-depth on like what I'm making, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Leave a like on the video. It helps out the algorithm a lot more. You can also go ahead and drop a comment down below and let me know what card games you like. And if you see any mechanical things in here that you would adjust or change, or maybe you think that the mechanic on this is a little weird and like you think this would work better if I did this or that, you know, feel free to suggest something in the comment section below. But as always guys, thank you for watching, and don't forget to stay mystical.